Welcome to the J-Man DVD vlog. Sorry for that break in transmission. Here with today's movie reviews. Here, the first one is Robocop, and you haven't seen it, it's a quick synopsis. In Robocop, the year is 2028, and a multinational conglomerate, Omnicorp, is at the center of robot technology. Overseas, their drones have been used by the military for years, and it's meant billions for Omnicorp's bottom line. Now, Omnicorp wants to bring their controversial technology to the home front, and they see a golden opportunity to do it when Alex Murphy, Joel Kinnaman, a loving husband, father, and good cop doing his best to stem the tide of crime and corruption in Detroit, is critically injured in the line of duty. Omnicorp sees their chance to build a part-man, part-robot police officer. Omnicorp envisions a robot in every city, and even more billions for their shareholders. But they never counted on one thing. There is still a man inside the machine pursuing justice. That's Robocop. Here's the disc. The next one is The Monuments Men. I already read this one in. I read this in the last review, so I'll just show you the disc. Next one is Vampire Academy. I read this to you in the last review, so I'll just show you this. I already read you the Lego in the last review, so I'll show you this. I haven't read to you. The last one is That Awkward Moment. Zac Efron, Marcel, Michael B. Jordan. I didn't read this synopsis to you in the last review, so I'll just read it to you. Best friends Jason, Zac Efron, Daniel, and Mikey live together. When Mikey's girl breaks up with him, his friends decide to take him out rather than letting him mope. They head to a bar in hopes of getting lucky. Unfortunately, Mikey is still not ready to move on. When Jason brings Allie home, what was supposed to be a one-night stand turns into something more. Daniel is disappointed with Jason because they made a pact not to see any one girl more than twice in 1 week. However, Daniel soon finds himself getting closer to Chelsea, and the three guys realize that their lives and attitudes are changing. That was That Awkward Moment, or in Australia it's called That Awkward Moment, or here in Australia it's called That Awkward Moment. Here's the disc. Now it's talking about Zac Efron. Talking about Leonardo DiCaprio part of the review. First one is The Great Gatsby. This is directed by Baz Luhrmann. If you haven't seen it, here's a quick synopsis. Dream dangerously. It's the spring of 1922 in New York City, a decadent playground of shifting morals, glittering jazz, bootleg empires, and skyrocketing stocks. Chasing the American Dream, would-be writer Nick Carraway, Golden Globe nominee Tobey Maguire, arrives from the Midwest, only to land next door to Jay Gatsby, three-time Oscar nominee Leonardo DiCaprio, a mysterious millionaire whose estate overflows with endless parties, as Nick's beautiful cousin Daisy, Oscar nominee Carey Mulligan, and her blue-blooded husband Tom Buchanan, Joel Edgerton fall into Gatsby's orbit. Nick bears witness to a tragedy of impossible love and incomparable dreams. Based on F. Scott Fitzgerald's timeless epic, The Great Gatsby mirrors the struggles of modern times in a dazzling visual journey from the mind of Baz Luhrmann, director of the Oscar-winning Moulin Rouge. That was The Great Gatsby. Here's the disc. Then Leonardo DiCaprio was in The Wolf of Wall Street, directed by Martin Scorsese. Have you ever seen it? Here's a quick synopsis. Sex, money, power, drugs. Brace yourself for an outrageous true story from legendary filmmaker Martin Scorsese that critics are calling a masterpiece for a new generation. Leonardo DiCaprio delivers the best performance of his career as a young stockbroker hungry for fame and glory in New York City, where corruption is king and more is never enough. His name was Jordan Belfort, but soon the world would know him by a different name, the Wolf of Wall Street. Together, Scorsese and DiCaprio deliver a story of American excess that is an absolute blast from start to finish. James Renier of Boston Herald calls it the best film of the year, a masterpiece. That was The Wolf of Wall Street. Here's the disc. The next review is 12 Years a Slave, which was the Academy Award-winning Best Picture at this year's Oscars. If you haven't seen it, here's a quick synopsis. From acclaimed director Steve McQueen comes this deeply evocative and brilliantly acted film, Clear View USA Today, based on the true story of Solomon Northup. It is 1841, and Northup, Chiwetel Ejiofor, in a gripping performance, an accomplished free citizen of New York, is kidnapped and sold into slavery. Stripped of his identity, and deprived of all dignity, Northup is ultimately purchased by ruthless plantation owner Edwin Epps, Michael Fassbender, and must find the strength within to survive. Filled with powerful performances by an astonishing cast that includes Benedict Cumberbatch, Brad Pitt, and newcomer Lupita Nyong'o. 12 Years a Slave is both an unflinching account of slavery in American history and a celebration of the indomitable power of hope. That was 12 Years a Slave. That's the disc. The next review is Veronica Mars, which is out on DVD and Blu-ray. Haven't seen it, is a quick synopsis. On the eve of graduating law school, Veronica Mars has put Neptune and her amateur sleuthing days behind her. While interviewing at high-end New York law firms, Veronica Mars gets a call from her ex-boyfriend Logan, who has been accused of murder. Veronica heads back to Neptune just to help Logan find an attorney. But when things don't seem right with how Logan's case is perceived and handled, Veronica finds herself being pulled back into a life she thought she had left behind. That was Veronica Mars. Here's the disc. The next movie is called Joe, with Nicolas Cage and Ty Sheridan. Here's the synopsis. The story begins as Joe hires teenage Gary Jones and his dissolute father onto his tree poisoning crew for a lumber company. Joe might be notoriously reckless with his pickup, his dog, and especially with women, but he sees something in Gary that gets to him. A determination, a raw decency, and a sense of resilience he can barely believe in anymore. Gary has surely had nothing in life. He's never spent a day at school, yet something drives to him to take care of his family, to keep his sister safe when his father turns monstrous, to hang on to hope of a better future. Joe and Gary forge an unlikely bond. When Gary finds himself facing a threat greater than he knows how to handle, he turns to Joe, sets off a chain of events that play out with the brutal inability of tragedy and the beauty of a last stab at salvation. That was the movie called Joe. Here's the synopsis. Here's the disc. The next one is Labor Day with Kate Winslet and Josh Brolin. If you haven't seen it, it's a quick synopsis. Labor Day centers on 13-year-old Henry Wheeler, who struggles to be the man of his house and care for his reclusive mother Adele, while confronting all the pangs of adolescence. On a back-to-school shopping trip, Henry and his mother encounter Frank Chambers, a man both intimidating and clearly in need of help, who convinces them to take them into their home, and later is revealed to be an escaped convict. The events of this long Labor Day weekend will shape them for the rest of their lives. That was Labor Day. Here's the disc. The next review is the Kristen Wiig's newie, Hateship, Loveship. Here's a synopsis. Joanna Parry, a quiet caregiver, starts a new job working for an elderly Mr. McCrawley and his teenage granddaughter Sabitha. A cruel trick by Sabitha lands Joanna in an awkward one-way relationship with Ken, Sabitha's estranged father, but her newfound ambition and desire gives her courage to transform her awkward doom into real commitment. That was Hateship, Loveship with Kristen Wiig, Nick Nolte and Guy Pearce. Is the disc. The next one is the first one in my Vince Vaughn collection is The Internship, the one he did with Owen Wilson. Here's a quick rundown of it. Billy and Nick are salesmen whose careers have been torpedoed by the digital world. Trying to prove they are not obsolete, they divide the odds by talking their way into a coveted internship at Google, along with a battalion of brilliant college students. But gaining entrance to this utopia is only half the battle. Now they must compete with a group of the nation's most elite, tech-savvy geniuses to prove that necessity really is the mother of reinvention. And here's the disc. My next Vince Vaughn movie is Delivery Man. Here's a quick synopsis. In this heartwarming comedy, underachiever David Wozniak, Vince Vaughn, learns he's actually an overachiever. He's fathered 533 children via donations made 20 years earlier. David soon discovers that the shock of his life might just be the best thing that's ever happened to him. Along the way, he discovers not only Along the way, he discovers not only his true self, but also the father he could become. That also starring Chris Pratt and Colby Schmolders. That's Delivery Man. Here's the disc. My next review is for the movie Saving Mr. Banks with Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson. Here's the synopsis. Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson bring to life the untold true story about the origins of one of the most treasured Disney classics of all time. John Lee Hancock directs this acclaimed film, which reveals the surprising backstory behind the making of Mary Poppins. Determined to fulfill a promise to his daughters, Walt Disney tries for 20 years to attain the rights to author P.R. Travis's beloved book. Armed with his iconic creative vision, Walt pulls out all the stops, but the uncompromising Travis won't budge. Only when he reaches into his own complicated childhood does Walt discover the truth about the ghost that haunts Travis, and together they set Mary Poppins free. That was Saving Mr. Banks. Here's the disc. My next review is for the movie Las Vegas with Morgan Freeman, Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, and Kevin Kline. Here's a synopsis if you haven't seen it. One legendary weekend. Billy, Michael Douglas, Paddy, Robert De Niro, Archie, Morgan Freeman, and Sam, Kevin Kline, have been best friends since childhood. So when Billy, the group's sworn bachelor, finally proposes to his 30-something, of course, girlfriend, the four head to Las Vegas with a plan to stop acting their age and relive their glory days. However, upon arriving, the four quickly realize that the decades have transformed Sin City and tested their friendship in ways they have never imagined. The Rat Pack may have once played the Sands, and Cirque du Soleil now rule the Strip. But it's these four who are taking over Vegas. That was Las Vegas. Here's the disc. Now, my next review is for the movie Parental Guidance with Marissa Tomei, Billy Crystal, Bette Midler, and Tom Everett Scott. Here's a synopsis, if you haven't seen it. Here come the grandparents, there go the rules. Billy Crystal, Bette Midler, and Marissa Tomei prove that laughter is relative in this hilarious comedy that's fun for the whole family. Old school grandparents Artie, Crystal, and Diane Midler get more than they bargained for when they get stuck babysitting their type A daughters, Tomei, overprotected kids. But things go from hectic to hysterical when Artie realizes that kids are running the house with their newfangled technology. By playing by his own rules, which include sugary snacks, old-fashioned games, and tough love, Artie manages to outsmart the kids and achieve the impossible, bring the family closer together. That was Parental Guidance. Here's the disc. My next review is for the Australian movie Mental with Tom. My next movie is for the Australian movie Mental with Tony Collette, Rebecca Gibney, Anthony LaPaglia, and Liev Schreiber. Here's a synopsis. From the director of Muriel's Wedding, P.J. Hogan, and star Tony Collette reunite in an original comedy with heart. The Richmond girls are sad and they all suffer from some crazy. The Richmond girls are sad and they all suffer from some kind of. The Richmond girls are sad and they all suffer from some kind of undiagnosed mental illness. Because if they're not crazy, then they're just unpopular. Their mother Shirley, Rebecca Gibney, Unable to cope with her demanding daughters and unsupported by her philandering politician husband Barry, Anthony LaPaglia, suffers a nervous breakdown after Barry commits his wife to a mental hospital, telling his constituents that she's on holiday. He finds himself alone with 5 teenage girls he barely knows. Desperate, he impulsively picks up a hitchhiker named Shaz, Colette, and installs her in his home as nanny to his daughters. That was mental. Hold on. Here's the disc. My next review is Kath and Kimderella, the movie, based on Kath and Kim, the TV show. Here's a synopsis. Pack your bum bag, neck pillow, designer knockoffs, and tummy ease, and take off with the foxy morons of Felton Lakes for jet-set adventure that will create international headlines and cause diplomatic headaches. That this could be the scandal that brings down the EU. The gang will head to the exotic, yet not at all affluent kingdom of Papilloma on Italy's heel, where a stroppy princess gets the royal wedding she's always dreamed about. A certain hornbag gets bedazzled and duped by an unscrupulous king and his petulant page, and a dark and mysterious secret finally comes out of the closet. A huge box office smash, this globe-trotting movie takes your favourite television characters and gives them the big screen treatment they deserve. Imagine Kath in surround sound, Kim in widescreen, printed with subtitles, and Sharon in Technicolor. Toot sweet and all aboard for a ritzy fairy tale of fashion, passion, and revolution. That's Kath and Kimderella, the movie. Is the disc. My last Australian movie is called Goddess, with Magda Szubanski, Lord Michelle Kelly, Ronan Keating. Here's a synopsis. In rural Tasmania, former singer Elspeth Dickens spends her days wrangling mischievous 3-year-old twins while awaiting erratic visits from her whale-saving husband James. Elspeth is feeling increasingly isolated, so to help them stay in contact, James gives her a webcam. However, reception isn't up to speed in the Southern Ocean, and with James rarely in contact, Elspeth decides to use the webcam to connect her to the world her way, through song. She installs the camera in her kitchen and starts performing her sync songs for the net. Unbeknownst to Elspeth, her performances go viral, and soon she is a cyber sensation. And when a Sydney advertising agency comes calling, asking her to be the face of their international goddess campaign, the world is suddenly her oyster. While Elspeth has finally found a voice of her own, her other life as a domestic goddess is still pressing. Can she be both a star and a mum? Or will there be a song and dance about it? Also starring Magda Szubanski, Happy Feet, Babe, Dunstan, Claire, The Eye of the Storm, Pia Miranda, Looking for Ella Brandy. That's Goddess. Here's the disc. Now my Zac Efron movies. First one is Hairspray. Here's a synopsis. Who's who behind the do? It's 1962. The 50s are out and change is in the air. Tracy turned black, a girl with big hair, and it's 1962. The 50s are out and change is in the air. Tracy turned black, a girl with big hair and an even bigger heart, has only one passion, dancing. Her dream is realized when she wins a spot on a local TV dance program. which is transformed overnight from outsider to teen celebrity? Can a trendsetter in dance and fashion defeat the program's reigning princess, win the heartthrob Link Larkin, and integrate television without messing up her hairdo? That's Hairspray. Is the disc. Next one is 17 again. It's a synopsis. If you somehow had the chance, would you do your life over? 30-something Mike O'Donnell would. Then one mysteriously magical moment, Mike gets his chance. He's suddenly back at Hayden High, where he's the star of the basketball team, a total hottie, and a classmate to his own teenage kids, which gives Mike a chance to go from not so good dad to really cool friend. Zac Efron, Hairspray, the High School Musical movies, and Matthew Perry, Friends, are 17 again, and fabulously funny as the younger and older Mike in a good time warp comedy that proves the best year of your life is the one you're living right now. That's 17 again. Is the disc. I'll quickly read High School Musical in my last review, so here's the disc. I'll quickly read Charlie St. Cloud to you. Charlie St. Cloud is a young man overcome by grief at the death of his younger brother. So much so that he takes a job as a caretaker of the cemetery in which his brother is buried. Charlie has a special lasting bond with his brother, though as he can see him. Charlie meets up with his brother Sam each night to play catch and talk. Then a girl comes into Charlie's life, and he must choose between keeping a promise he made to Sam or going after the girl he loves. That's Charlie St. Cloud. Is the disc. I'll quickly review the Lorax. Here's the disc. I'll quickly review the Lorax. The imaginative world of Dr. Seuss comes to life like never before in this visually spectacular adventure from the creators of Despicable Me. 12-year-old Ted will do anything to find a real love. 12-year-old Ted will do anything to find a real 12-year-old Ted will do anything to find a real-life truffler tree in order to impress the girl of his dreams. As he embarks on his journey, Ted discovers the incredible story of the Lorax, a grumpy but charming creature who speaks for the trees, featuring the voice talents of Danny DeVito, Ed Helms, Zac Efron, Taylor Swift, and Betty White. Dr. Seuss's The Lorax is filled with hilarious fun for everyone. That's the Lorax. It's the disc. Next one is High School Musical 2. Here's a synopsis. Goodbye, classroom. Hello, summer. But for Troy, Gabriella, Chad, and Taylor, this vacation is no day at the beach. That's because they all working at a country club founded by Ryan and Sharpay's family. And with the club's annual talent show right around the corner, Sharpay's competitive instincts are sizzling. She dumps Ryan as her singing partner and starts wooing Troy to join her on stage instead. Gabriella is less than thrilled that Troy has agreed to sing with Sharpay. How could he do that to her? Things are heating up on the lawns of high society. Will Troy and Gabriella realize that they're meant to be, or is it already too late for them to sing one last song together? That's High School Musical 2. It's the disc. My last Zac Efron movie is High School Musical 3, Senior Year. Here's a synopsis. It's time to celebrate as Disney's phenomenal High School Musical 3, it's time to celebrate as Disney's phenomenal High School Musical hits new heights in High School Musical 3 Senior Year. Fresh from the big screen, this motion picture extravaganza delivers non-stop entertainment from start to finish. It's almost graduation day for high school seniors Troy, Gabriella, Sharpay, Chad, Ryan and Taylor. But the thought of heading off in separate directions after leaving East High has these Wildcats thinking that they need to do something they'll remember forever. Together with the rest of the Wildcats, they staged a spring musical, reflecting their hopes and fears about the future and their unforgettable experiences growing up together. But with graduation approaching and college plans in question, what will become of the dreams, romances and friendships of East High's senior Wildcats? That's High School Musical 3 Senior Year. It's the disc. The movies I'll review today are High School Musical 3 Senior Year, High School Musical 2, The Lorax, Charlie St. Cloud, High School Musical, 17 Again, Hairspray, Goddess, Kath and Kimderella the movie, Mental, Parental Guidance, Las Vegas, Saving Mr. Banks, Delivery Man, The Internship, Hateship, Loveship, Labor Day, Joe, Veronica Mars, 12 Years a Slave, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Great Gatsby, That Awkward Moment, The Lego Movie, Vampire Academy, The Monuments Men, and Robocop. That's all my reviews for tonight. Before I leave, I'll leave you with a song. What albums? What song will I have? Before too long. No. The one that's your review the song. Sorry.
Feels so bad.
Try my mind.
Everybody seems to nag me. Coming Tuesday, I feel better. Even my old man looks good. Wednesday just don't go. Thursday goes too slow. I got Friday on my mind. Gonna have fun in the city. Be with my girl, she's so pretty. She looks fine tonight. She is outside to me. Tonight, I spend my friend tonight. I leave my head tonight. I got to get tonight. One day I'll have Friday on my mind.
That's all for tonight. Bye!